guys, it's BreathRock here with another Warframe build video. This time it's for our newest member, NIDUS. NIDUS is a very fun Warframe. I really like him, even though he's very new. I got to love him very quick because I don't know, he's just so fun. He's so different, so NIDUS. His name, NIDUS, is apparently some sort of plague or disease in Latin. I don't know, just a little fact there. As you can see, I put in him my arsenal of favorite infested weapons. Okay, let's go first about the abilities he has. Note, 2 of his 4 abilities don't use energy at all to cast. They use a new system he has, which is called mutation stacks. Let's go first over the first ability, Virulence. Virulence is a ground stomp, which is sort of like Frost's Ice Wave Impedance, sorry. Only that instead of ice, he shoots out mutation waves, sort of fungus, and each enemy it hits, it refunds you with 15 energy, and also it gets much stronger. So it goes well with his second ability, which I'll talk about in a few seconds. But first, his first ability uses the strength mods, the anti-efficiency for the energy refund. The lower your efficiency is, the higher the refund is, and vice versa, and is affected by range. His second ability, Larva, spawns an infested tentacle that simply pulls into it enemies. The thing is, NIDUS is pretty much Alex Mercer or James Hellor from Prototype. If you play with him and you played Prototype, you'll have lots of fun. This ability is affected by radius and duration, which is very good. It holds up enemies, has no limits as to how many enemies it can hold inside it, which is excellent in my opinion. It's really excellent. It pulls into it enemies in the radius, has no limits on how many enemies. You use your first ability once you have this one, and you pretty much regenerate energy using this and then this. His third ability, Parasitic Link, is sort of Trinity's Link, only that this one doesn't suck. Once you cast this ability on an ally, the both of you gain increased strength to your abilities, and it's affected by duration, affected by range, and strength. It consumes adaptation stack, or like I enjoy to call it, mutation stack, since you know it's mutation rather than adaptation. He mutates. Well, I guess it can be called adaptation, but mutation sounds much more badass. And if you hit an enemy, instead of giving you a buff, it simply takes a huge percent of damage that you gain and sends it straight into the enemy, which works very well. Enemy range, well, yeah, okay, it's affected by range, as I said, duration, and strength. His fourth ability is called Ravenous. What he does in this with this ability is simply what the Broodmother does. He sends a few pods with infested enemies into the floor, and not only that, the maggots he creates with this attack enemies, and they simply feast upon the enemies. Once the maggots get full, they explode, killing enemies and giving you back adaptation stacks, mutation stacks. You need 3 of them to activate this, and they restore to you about 1 stack per enemy from what I've seen so far. This is affected by duration, ignore the ability radius, and strength. Regenerate, this is how much health you restore while standing on his 4. It's affected by strength. Alright, let's go into the build. I put 4 formas into him. The first one I think was for this, for the vitality. Then I went for this aura, I mean polarization, and then for the let's forget the names of the polarizations. And the fourth one for the aura mod. He comes with a steel charge aura mod and only 2 polarity slots, this one and this one, if I recall correctly. He has some bonuses since he doesn't have a shield. This is why I love him. He has no shields, just like Anaros, and you know what I think about shields. Alright, so he gains 50% more armor once he's max rank, 13 heal rate, which means he gains like 13 health per second, or he gains like a huge amount of health per second. He has bigger health pool. He gets 50% more power, and he gains passively 15% power strength without any mods, as you can see here. I think he's the first Warframe to have this, and it's so perfect in my opinion. And that's why I sometimes swap the power drift with enemy sense, because enemy sense helps me a little bit more now that I have corrosive projection. By seeing the enemies around me, if my sentinel dies, yeah, had to mention the sentinel, because if not, you'd straight away think, oh, why don't use animal instinct? Well, this is why. He might die if you go on high level missions. Okay, so I decided to go with a build that complements his first ability and second ability alongside with his fourth and third, which means a well-rounded build. He needs no efficiency whatsoever because you can use rage and he gains energy from every hit he gets. And since he has a lot of armor, like really a lot of armor, I think he's the third Warframe, he has the third highest armor count after Atlas, which Atlas is beaten up by Valkyr. But he has a lot of armor. He also gains armor by ranking up the adaptation stacks, which I don't think I mentioned. You get adaptation stacks from using his first ability, which is why you should use his second and then first ability, so you can get a lot of adaptation stacks. And it doesn't mention here, but you gain 0.01% more sprint speed for each adaptation stack up to 0.1, and you can get up to 250 extra armor, not by percentage but extra armor, for each adaptation stack. It gets capped at 250. That's what I said, 250. So that's why I decided to go with armored agility and steel fiber. At first I thought using rejuvenation on him could be better, or stand united, but I tested the two before polarizing this one, and corrosive projection helps me a lot more, unlike the what it's called, rejuvenation, which seemed to just not affect at all, since I have Mediray and he has passive healing. Okay, so corrosive projection, that's why. Power drift, you can also put enemy sense if you'd like. I swap between the two, depends on the situation or the mission I go into. Primed continuity, because you know, duration, he needs the duration for the 4 and 3. His third ability already has a shitload of duration, so why not add more? Vitality for base health, might add vigor instead of armored agility, natural talent. This makes him a lot better. You'll see why. Steel fiber as the armor alongside armored agility. Overextended. Look, I put blind rage and overextended, which work pretty well. He needs not efficiency, nor does he need flow, and he already has a lot of strength with blind rage. So I thought, why not just add power, range, add overextended instead of stretch, and finally rage. Okay, so you should mod your weapon to have life strike. That could help him a lot, even though he has passive healing. You'd see that having life strike is a lifesaver. Okay, so into the battle we go. Let's summon my favorite. No, actually, let's take heavy gunners this time. Okay, heavy gunners. I'm probably going to get shred, but I'll show you the second ability. Boom, and spam the first ability. Spam it, spam it. Kind of has a cooldown on his first ability. I don't know why. Once you have 10 stacks, you can get killed and won't actually be killed. You'll be revived. You can see the overextended pulled all those enemies inside. This is insane. It works really well. So you can see my adaptation stacks above the energy bar. It rises up very easily. I'm gonna die. Undying. You see, this works really well. I'll just put my this is his 4. It's his Ravenous ability. You can see the maggots on the floor. They'll start grabbing up onto the enemy, like so. Yeah. Okay. Torrid. Okay. I'm gonna undying again. Yeah. Just 2, and they all get pulled inside because of the massive range. I get healed passively, and from the Ravenous. See, I get all my energy back refunded if I hit all of them. It gets a lot stronger for each enemy it hits, so you can see they get shredded pretty well. Not too fast, but his abilities have great scaling, and if I were to use my pox on them to strip them from their armor and activate again, there we go, boom, see, boom, that's it, no more corrupted heavy gunners. Okay, so I forgot to mention, he also changes, his appearance changes as he evolves. His adaptation stacks are capped at about 100, and then instead of seeing 100, what you see is a cool symbol. I think it's cool. Hit me and boom. Oh wait, yeah, pull together. Yeah, that's what you get. I'll just stand here for the passive healing. Oh, and pox. Yeah. He's really overpowered, if you didn't notice so far. Yeah, also the screen kind of zooms in, which is very annoying at times. But I really like it. It gives it a cool effect, like resurrected or something like that. Well, this is NIDUS. Not much needed to be said about him, other than I really love him. Also, he can open the infested door. I forgot to mention that. I'll show you something. I won't spoil to you the surprise. I'll just show you this purple little thing. As you can see, I did not put any purple color in my on my warframe, and this is a little needle you get from the infested room. I won't spoil anything else. Just get NIDUS, open up the infested door and see yourself what happens. I'm still being haunted by those voices. Okay, anyways, I hope you enjoyed my build. This was my build for NIDUS, which I use a lot, and NIDUS himself I use a lot. Haven't switched a Warframe in about a few days now because of how awesome he is. I'm sure he'll get nerfed sometime soon because, you know, but anyways, thank you guys for watching and have a good day.